Hi, this is Shannon. This is Cycle 1, Week 14. I'm excited to share with you some tutor ideas for this week. You can use these ideas if you are a tutor in your classical homeschool group, or you can use these at home with your kids too, just to practice the memory work. If you are new to my channel, I am a homeschooling mom of 3 little ones, 5, 3, and 1, and we do classical homeschooling and love it. And I have the privilege of tutoring the obesitarians this year, so that's the little ones, the 4 through 6-year-olds. So these ideas are with them in mind, but you can definitely adjust these and use most of these ideas for older kids too. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video. I have made some memory work games for each of the subjects that you can do at home with your kids for this week. I am going to start with English this week. I like to start with English. If you see my other videos, you've heard me say that. I have these notebooks for the kids, so I've decorated them with their name and a biology design. You can get this from my blog, which I'll link below. They are just preschool lined notebooks, and I like to give the kids a little writing practice. So this week, we are doing a helping verb, the definition. And then for the next few weeks, we're going to learn 3 different helping verbs each week. So for this week, I just wrote out the definition of a helping verb and then wrote a line where the kids can write helping verb. So you can adjust this to the ability of your kids. It's one of the reasons I like this. You could let them write the entire definition if they're a little bit older. You could write the beginning of the definition and let them finish it. You could write helping verb here in little dots and let them trace it if they're younger. You could just, write all of it except the H before helping and the V before verb and let them fill in those letters. There's lots of different things you could do. But I will start out having these on the table so the kids know where to come sit. Then they open them up, find week 14, and then they go ahead and start writing helping verb, and I'll have that on my tutor board so they can see if they need help spelling that and everything. And then we'll read the definition together, and I'm going to teach them a song to the tune This Old Man. And this song we will sing for the next few weeks through week 19. We're going to keep adding helping verbs to the same song, so it's great. So it goes like this. A helping verb, helps another verb assert action, being, or existence. Helping verbs make lots of sense. And then we go through and add on each of the helping verbs. So I'm just going to go ahead and sing the whole song for you so you know it. That's all we need to do for this week, just the definition. I'm not going to sing the whole song for the kids this week, but just so you know it, I'll sing through the whole thing. And I didn't make this up, so you can find this on YouTube too, but I'll go ahead and sing it. It goes like this. A helping verb, helps another verb assert action, being, or existence. Helping verbs make lots of sense. Helping verbs do, does, did, has, have, had, may, must, might, should, would, could, shall, will, can. Helping verbs, they lend a hand. Every week you'll add on 3 helping verbs and just continue with that song until week 19. You can sing that whole song with the kids. I will also review the whole preposition song with the kids that we did first semester. I'm planning on doing this each week because we'll probably present it to the parents at the end of the year, and it's just really fun. It doesn't take that long to run through. The kids do great at it and have a lot of fun with it. So I will review that. We'll sing through the whole preposition song and do the hand motions with that. So I'll link my video below with the whole entire song and the hand motions if you want a refresher. For timeline this week, I have my timeline cards, and I have put the first letter of each event on the top of each card. I do this because I have younger kids and some of them can't read yet, so it helps them identify what the timeline event is. This week, we are going to play the bomb game. So what that means is I put a sticker, a little star sticker, on the back of 3 of the cards, but the kids don't know about this yet, or won't until we're ready to play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the cards around the room before our group starts. So when we get to the timeline part, I'm going to say, okay, go around the room, find 1 or 2 timeline cards, depending on how many kids you have, bring them back to your seat. Then we will put them in order. Now I'm going to have 7 pieces of painter's tape already up on the wall because I like to put them on the wall so we can see them in order. So I'll say, okay, the first event is Columbus sails to the Caribbean. Who has that one? Now there's 3 events that start with a C, so it might be a little bit tricky, but we'll help them figure it out. Whoever has that one gets to go stick it on that piece of painter's tape up on the wall in the first spot. And then we'll keep doing that for each event. Once all the timeline cards are up on the wall, then I'll say to the kids, okay, we're gonna play a little game called Bomb Game. Who knows what a bomb does? Now this isn't real, this is just for fun, but I have a lot of boys in my group, so they'll know what a bomb does. I'll say, okay, if a bomb went off, what would we do? We would huddle on the ground and cover our heads to protect ourselves. So we want to try to find the timeline cards that don't have bombs on them because we don't want a bomb to go off. But 3 of the cards have bombs on them. So we have to be really careful. So I'm going to take a student volunteer to go pick a card that they think doesn't have a bomb, or they might want a bomb. So say they pick, now these are all taped to the wall, but say they pick Protestant Reformation, and I turn it over. Oh, no bomb, yay, you're safe, woo! So I keep that stuck up on the wall. No bomb, we're good. Now I have another kid come up, and before we go to the next card, we're gonna sing the timeline song through this event so we get lots of practice. So I'll say, okay, we're gonna start with the first one. We'll look at the wall, it says Columbus. So we'll say, Columbus sails to the Caribbean. 1500 AD, 1500 AD, age of absolute monarchs, circa 1500 to circa 1800, Protestant Reformation, and then, great, we did it. Okay, so then I'll have another volunteer come pick another card and say they pick age of absolute monarchs. Oh no, it's a bomb when we turn it over. So I'll say, take cover, and try to be really enthusiastic. So they all drop to the floor, put their hands over their head, give them a moment to have fun with that. And then once they sit back up, I'll say, okay, we're gonna sing the timeline song from the beginning through age of absolute monarchs. So here we go, Columbus, and then etc. We'll keep doing that until we find all 3 bombs. And once you find all 3 bombs, you can just be done with the game, or you can, make your kids do push-ups or something, whatever you think makes sense. And I'm going to keep these taped to the board. So even if they find a bomb, I'm just going to turn it over so they know which one is the bomb like this, but it's still going to be taped to the wall. Then once we've finished our game, I'm going to have them all go up to the front of the room in front of the cards, and we're going to go over the motions together. So the first one, Columbus sails to the Caribbean, we make a C, and then we're sailing like this. Then age of absolute monarchs, we're going to put a crown on our head like this. And then Protestant Reformation, we're going to make our R's and then twist our wrist. Spanish conquistadors, I'm going to touch my shoulder like that and then bring my fingers together. In the Americas, you can make the conquer symbol like that. And then Calvin's institutes of the Christian religion. So just like Jesus the Messiah, we're going to make that for Christian. And then Council of Trent, similar to the Protestant Reformation, but we're going to make a C and then make our R's and twist them. And then Baroque period of the arts, we're going to go like that. Columbus sails to the Caribbean. 1500 AD, 1500 AD, age of absolute monarchs, circa 1500 to circa 1800, Protestant Reformation, Spanish conquistadors in the Americas, Calvin's Institutes of the Christian Religion, Council of Trent, Baroque period of the arts, And you can do that with your kids a few times, and that is timeline this week. For geography this week, we are learning about ancient Africa. So I have my map here. I like to outline the places before group for each of the kids on these maps. You could also print these from the Sandbox Easing and CC Connected and laminate them if you don't have these. These are from the Classical Conversations bookstore. Our director got us these for each kid to have, but if you don't have them, you could definitely use the maps they provide on CC Connected. So this week we have got ancient Ghana in turquoise here, ancient Mali in red, Western Sahara. We have got in green Fez and Tangier in purple. So I'm going to teach the kids a song to the tune of Ram Sam Sam. I'm also going to give them one of these little African animal erasers. I got these from the dollar store. I'm going to give them a little eraser and have them point to the places as we sing this song. So it goes like this. Ancient Ghana, ancient Mali, Western Sahara, Fez and Tangier. This is ancient Africa, ancient Ghana, ancient Mali, Western Sahara, Fez and Tangier. This is ancient Africa. So that's what we're going to do for geography, and then I'm going to give them dry erase markers and let them color in the locations from this week and places they remember that we learned last week as well. Give them a few minutes to do that, and that's what we will do for geography. You can sing the song a few more times as they're coloring too, so they can hear it a lot. I also like to just kind of quiz them as they're coloring, like, who remembers what the purple city is called, and who remembers what the orange country is called. And also for geography, I've shared this before, but just wanted to share again. You can see this Africa map behind me. It is a big Africa map with lots of felt countries. Here's Western Sahara. And I am having my kids learn all the countries, even though in classical conversations, you don't necessarily learn all the countries unless you want to at home. But we're learning them as a family, and it's been really fun. We love geography. So you can find the patterns to these countries if you want to make a map like this at home. I have them on Etsy. I'll link below. I also have free Africa maps that you can just download and use to learn the countries as well. I'll link those below. And we made a song to learn all the African countries, and so I will link that below as well. For math this week, we are doing linear equivalence. So I'm going to bring in my ruler and just show the kids how about 2 and a little bit more, 2.54 centimeters equals an inch. Kind of pass that around, let them look at that. And we're going to sing a song to help them learn these linear equivalents to the tune He's a Jolly Good Fellow. So I'm going to sing it first to the kids, and then we're going to talk about, okay, so we have these small little centimeters that we can see on our ruler. Then we have an inch that we can see on our ruler. Then 12 inches equals a foot, which is the length of this ruler. Then 5,280 feet. That's a lot of these. If you think about that many feet, that's equal to a mile. And then 1 kilometer is equal to 5/8 of a mile. So a kilometer is a little bit smaller than a mile. I'm going to say, so as we sing this song, we're going to start in really small voices or really soft voices. And we're going to just take, little steps, like centimeter steps. And then as we get farther into the song, our steps are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until the end, we're going to jump as far as we can as we sing. The song goes like this. 2.54 centimeters, 2.54 centimeters, 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. 12 inches equals 1 foot, 12 inches equals 1 foot, 12 inches equals 1 foot, every single time. 5,280 feet, 5,280 feet, 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer equals 5/8 of a mile. And so as you sing that, again, encourage them to start with their voices softer and then get louder and louder and bigger steps until they're jumping as far as they can at the end of the song. So we'll sing that while we're stepping and jumping several times. So that is math this week. For history this week, we are going to do silly words again. I've done this a lot for history, but it works really well for these longer history sentences. And some of the kids in my group are learning how to read or excited that they know how to read now, and so they see the sentence on my tutor board and they like trying to follow along, so it's just working really well. So if something's working well, stay with it, right? What I do is I try to sing the history song normally to the kids, to the CC tune, and just encourage them to listen and even sing along if they want as they read the history sentence on my tutor board. So I tell them I'm singing it correctly, so make sure you listen really well, because in a minute I'm going to put some silly words in there and you have to tell me when you hear a silly word. The normal song goes like this. In 700, Ghana was known as the land of gold. The Mali nation took control of gold trade in 1240 and established Timbuktu as a center of trade, culture, and learning. By the mid-1400s, the wealthy and powerful Songhai Empire controlled trade in Western Africa. So then I'm going to throw in some silly words. So I'm going to say, okay, listen really carefully. And if you hear me say a silly word, raise your hand. So I'm going to say, in 700, banana was known. Banana, not banana, what should it be? Oh, Ghana. Okay. And then I go back to the beginning and do it correctly until the next silly word. So, in 700, Ghana was known as the candy land of gold. Candy land? No. Oh, what should it be? Oh, land. Oh, sorry. Okay, we'll try again. So then I go back to the beginning and do it to the next silly word. So they're hearing it correctly a lot. So that's one of the other reasons I really like doing this for history. The silly words I use this week are banana instead of Ghana, Candyland instead of land, station instead of nation, old instead of gold, Kalamazoo instead of Timbuktu, burping instead of learning, spoonful instead of powerful, lemonade instead of trade. So that is history this week. For Latin this week, we are doing the noun cases again. So the kids have heard this the first couple weeks, weeks 1 and 2. We did this last week, so it should be getting real familiar. We're going to sit in a circle and play hot potato, but we're going to play like hot elephant because there's elephants in Africa, and I'm just going to have them toss Mr. Elephant around in a circle. We're going to sit in a circle, we'll go over the noun cases, but they'll be pretty familiar with this at this point. And so we'll sing the song, and I will have them pass the elephant around as we sing. When we stop singing, whoever's holding the elephant, it's not going to get out, but I'm going to have turn backwards. So they're still in the circle, but they're turning backwards. And people still have to pass the elephant to them. It just makes it a little bit more interesting. And then when everybody's turned backwards, then we'll stop playing. All right, so the song goes like this. It's to the tune, Are You Sleeping, Brother John? Nominative, subject, genitive, possessive, dative, indirect, object, accusative, direct object, ablative, object of the preposition. These are the noun cases. So again, whoever is holding the elephant will turn around backwards, stay in the circle, and then we'll sing it again. The people will still pass it to that person, but they're backwards. And then when everybody's backwards, so their backs are facing the center of the circle, then we'll stop. If you want to spice it up more, or you could do this instead of the hot potato thing, you could do silly voices. I love doing this in some form pretty much every week because the kids love it. So I've made these silly voice sticks with words on them like whisper, crying, like your cry voice, tongue out, etc. So sometimes I'll pass a stick out to each kid and we'll sing the song in each of the different voices. So you could do that. I also have these silly voice cards, like this says, mouth open, through your teeth, sing fast, high-pitched, etc. So these are free from my blog. I'll link below where you can get them if you want to get these, or I also have movement cards for free too. So another option of something to do for Latin or any of the subjects. For science this week, we are learning about the 3 kinds of rock. So I have these different types of the 3 types of rocks available if you want to print them out like I did. So I'll link below where you can get them. They're free. Just print them out and cut them out. So I laminated mine just so they would last a little bit longer. But basically what I did, so here's a sedimentary example. I put a Velcro sticker on it. You could also just put tape, but I like this because then it doesn't stick to anything except where it's supposed to go. So I have this on the back of each one. And so I have this board, but before our class time starts, I'm going to have all these rocks hidden around the room. And I'm going to tell the kids that they have to go find them when we get to the science part. Now, on the back of each rock is a sticker. So I color coordinated them because obviously it'd be really hard to tell like which rocks go under which section. But I'm going to tell the kids, okay, when you find a rock around the room, see what color sticker it has on the back and come put it on one of the spaces in the corresponding column. So sedimentary would have the blue, so any rocks they find that have the blue sticker on the back, they come put them up here. So that's what they'll do. They'll go find rocks around the room. As soon as they find one, bring it up, put it under the correct column. And then once all the rocks are on the columns, then we will look at them together. I'll talk a little bit about each one, and then I'm going to teach them a song to the tune Peace Like a River, and it goes like this. What are 3 kinds of rock? Sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous. What are 3 types of rock? Sedimentary, metamorphic, igneous. We'll sing that together a few times, and that's what we will do for science. For review this week, I have my Jenga block tower. I don't want it to fall, so. What I did is we got this really cheap, and so I feel okay writing on the blocks. I've also seen miniature Jenga tower games at the dollar store, so you could try that too if you don't want to write on a game. Totally get that. So what I did is on some of the, let me find a loose one, here we go. On some of the blocks I wrote, so this one doesn't have anything, but like this one has the word animal on it. So during review, I'm going to tell them, we're going to get in a circle around this, and I'm going to explain how to play the game if they don't know. We have to be really gentle, only touch the block that we want to push out, no other blocks. And some of the blocks have nothing on them. Some of the blocks have a silly question, and some of the blocks have a review subject on them. So it just depends what they get. So we'll alternate. So for example, if a kid gets animal, that means if you could be any animal, what kind of animal would you be? And just let everybody share just for fun. Then another kid goes, geography. So then I would ask a geography question. Like last week we learned about Western Africa. What's somewhere in Western Africa that you remember learning? The Sahara Desert. Good job. So you could write on every single block if you wanted to. I still am not sure if I will or not. I feel like it's fine to have some of them blank, but can use your discretion. But I definitely like putting some silly questions on some. It's just fun, and they're tired by the end, and it just keeps them engaged. That's what we will do for review. And I like to just think of questions on the fly. I don't really like to write down specific questions just because of the level of my kids. I just feel like it works better to be like, you know, who remembers a compound preposition we learned last week? Plus, this is week 14, so we're only really reviewing from week 13. So it keeps it pretty simple. As promised, I wanted to show you the memory work games I made that you can do with your kids at home this week. So the first one is a history sequence dice game. I have these 2 dice templates you can print out, or if you have your own colorful dice, you can use them. But basically you roll both of them, you find the place that matches what you rolled, and then you take the matching card. So say I got this money bag here, I would take the matching card, which is part of the history sentence, the wealthy and powerful Songhai Empire, and I keep that card, and then the next person goes. The first person to get all the different cards or all the different parts of the history sentence wins, and then you try to put them in order and say the whole history sentence. So that's history. For math, I have these dominoes, so just different linear measurements, and you have to obviously connect ones that are equivalent. This is for this week and next week, so you can use it for a couple weeks. Lots of domino cards. And then for geography, I made similar to last week. I made maps where you can cut them out and make it into a puzzle for the kids. I'm also including blank maps too if you just want to use it for reference. For English, I have this maze where you connect helping verb to its definition, and all the helping verbs are around it just for fun. For science, I made a kinds of rock Uno game. So different colors with different kinds of rock, lots of different cards, so super fun. And for Latin, I have the same as last week, a maze that connects the nominative to subject, etc. So you can get all those games for free from my blog. I will link below how you can get those, but I hope you and your family enjoy playing those. I also wanted to share with you that I made a Cycle 1 picture book list for second semester, so weeks 13 through 24. These are awesome books that you can read at home with your kids that relate to the memory work for each week. So be sure to check that out. I will link that in the description below. So I hope those ideas were helpful. Thanks so much for watching. If you are enjoying my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I am posting at least one video per week related to homeschooling, healthy living, and tutor ideas, but sometimes more than one video. I like to post songs that we're seeing that help us learn the memory work as well. Also, check out my Instagram. I like to post what we're doing throughout the week and different activities I make, and I have all these resources on my blog, so check that out as well. Have a great day, and thanks so much for watching.